flow here. Actually picking up where I left off. Oh, I just noticed I got some unnecessary duplication. Let's see. So my phone overheated last time I was out, and it could definitely happen again, but hopefully not. I mean, it probably will eventually, but hopefully I can go for a little while before that happens. Try not to be so try not to jibber jabber so much, I guess. So this is the place I was at, the exact position of the camera and everything where I was trying to stream a few days ago. All right, I think everything's working. All right, so this is the last day for me to do a Bible reading before my friend gets here. I have a friend visiting this for Labor Day weekend. Should be fun, but I most likely anyway won't do any Bible readings while he's here unless there's some unforeseen circumstances. And of course, if he wanted to do it with me, like read together or something, I'd be up for that, but I don't really ask people to get involved in my live streaming stuff because I don't think most people are interested. Plus, I don't want to take away from the time that we have, very limited time that we have together, because I don't get to see people, friends, visitors, whatever, very much. Alright, so I am going to be doing a few Bible readings today, as long as my camera holds out. So this is, I think, where we left off. Numbers 35 to 36, Mark 13, 28 to 37, and Luke 21, 29 to 38. So I worked a little bit more just to keep the story going. I worked a little bit more on the script to overdub or re-record bad audio, and I found out that I probably had it going a long time ago. I don't know. But so I was using this AI transcription library, I guess. I don't know what to call it. Called WhisperX. And it produces JSON files that I'm using to synchronize and chop up the bits of words and everything, re-stretch them and all that, whatever. Anyway, all this time, I didn't realize that there were some, what I would consider errors in the transcription. Just timing is off. So now, what I discovered is I could just fix the JSON manually. There's really not like hundreds or many errors. Just like one or two words get shifted just inaccurately, and so I could just manually fix the data. And then when I tried that, it took me forever to even find out that was what was going on, because the AI didn't figure that out. The AI could not have possibly figured that out unless I provided like an MP3 of the audio, and it could actually, whatever. I didn't do that though. So anyway, So most of that time was wasted just because I didn't realize it was like a red herring situation. I was chasing the wrong problem. The problem wasn't with the script. The AI wrote, Gemini, whatever. Oh, there's a hummingbird up there. Nice. Probably doesn't show up. It's just sitting there. Wish I had a zoom lens. The Gemini wrote the script possibly the first go, but definitely very early on it was working how it should have. I was just dealing with bad timing data, apparently. So yeah, that's fun. I might actually write a utility. This would be cool. I think I've brainstormed a way to make a utility that I could more easily fix the data, like it would show it on a visual timeline, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Interestingly enough, I use Shotcut as my video editor, and Shotcut is XML based, so theoretically I could write a script that pulls in the text into Shotcut for any reason if I wanted to, but the reason I would do it is it would show the text according to the timing of the JSON file. It would flash the words on there, and so I could visually see if they're lining up with the text as I'm saying it. And so that would be a lot easier to have a visual cue for like finding the errors than trying to sift through all the JSON data just by looking at it. So anyway, I might write that little script. That actually shouldn't be that hard, to be honest, to write that. So yeah, that'll be fun. Anyway, so I think I'm pretty close to that. Actually, when I fixed the data, the bits of it that I saw that were wrong, and I reran the script is like pretty good. So I may already have that solved. But I don't want to delay on it forever because I haven't uploaded to my WordHike channel for several days because of that, because I'm stuck on one reading that's a really bad recording out in the field. And so I need to either just re-record those chapters like I've done in the past, like go to a different location or even the same location and re-record them or restream them, whatever. Or I need to keep trying to fix them with this overdubbing thing. But either way, I want to get back to a semi-regular pattern of uploading. Cut up, trimmed, edited passages for my WordHike channel. And theoretically, there might be a couple more of these bad recordings, and they could still happen. They can definitely still happen because it's arbitrary. I don't know what causes my wireless mic. I'm like direct line of sight. Shouldn't have an issue, but if it happens again, I'm trying to remember to record locally on this thing, so that should be a fail-safe. And then the ultimate fail-safe is if I get that script going, then it'll be pretty cool. All right, let's get going on the reading. I just wanted to get all that AI stupid scripting vlog stuff out of the way so I can jump into this. I have my umbrella sort of over my camera, but as the sun rises, it's not going to be covering it very well, and I'm not sure I can adjust it much more than I have. But I think I might have a hack for next time. I need sort of an extension for the umbrella, and so I'll come up with something when I get home. Numbers chapter 35. Again the Lord spoke to Moses on the plains of Moab by the Jordan across from Jericho. Command the Israelites to give from the inheritance they will possess, cities for the Levites to live in, and pasture lands around the cities. The cities will be for them to live in, and the pasture lands will be for their herds, their flocks, and all their other livestock. The pasture lands around the cities you are to give the Levites will extend 1,000 cubits from the wall on every side. You are also to measure 2,000 cubits outside the city on the east, 2,000 on the south, 2,000 on the west, and 2,000 on the north, with the city in the center. These areas will serve as larger pasture lands for the cities. 6 of the cities you give the Levites are to be appointed as cities of refuge, to which a manslayer may flee. In addition to these, give the Levites 42 other cities. The total number of cities you give the Levites will be 48, with their corresponding pasture lands. The cities that you apportion from the territory of the Israelites should be given to the Levites in proportion to the inheritance of each tribe, more from a larger tribe and less from a smaller one. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites and tell them, when you cross the Jordan into the land of Canaan, designate cities to serve as your cities of refuge, so that a person who kills someone unintentionally may flee there. You are to have these cities as a refuge from the avenger, so that the manslayer will not die until he stands trial before the assembly. The cities you select will be your 6 cities of refuge. Select 3 cities across the Jordan and 3 in the land of Canaan as cities of refuge. These 6 cities will serve as a refuge for the Israelites and for the foreigner or stranger among them, so that anyone who kills a person unintentionally may flee there. If, however, anyone strikes a person with an iron object and kills him, he is a murderer. The murderer must surely be put to death. Or if anyone has in his hand a stone of deadly size, and he strikes and kills another, he is a murderer. The murderer must surely be put to death. If anyone has in his hand a deadly object of wood, and he strikes and kills another, he is a murderer. The murderer must surely be put to death. The avenger of blood is to put the murderer to death. When he finds him, he is to kill him. Likewise, if anyone maliciously pushes another or intentionally throws an object at him and kills him, or if in hostility he strikes him with his hand and he dies, the one who struck him must surely be put to death. He is a murderer. When the avenger of blood finds the murderer, he is to kill him. But if anyone pushes a person suddenly, without hostility, or throws an object at him unintentionally, or without looking drops a heavy stone that kills him, but he was not an enemy and did not intend to harm him, then the congregation must judge between the slayer and the avenger of blood according to these ordinances. The assembly is to protect the manslayer from the hand of the avenger of blood. Then the assembly will return him to the city of refuge to which he fled, and he must live there until the death of the high priest, who was anointed with the holy oil. But if the manslayer ever goes outside the limits of the city of refuge to which he fled, and the avenger of blood finds him outside of his city of refuge and kills him, then the avenger will not be guilty of bloodshed, because the manslayer must remain in his city of refuge until the death of the high priest. Only after the death of the high priest may he return to the land he owns. This will be a statutory ordinance for you. For the generations to come, wherever you live. If anyone kills a person, the murderer is to be put to death on the testimony of the witnesses. But no one is to be put to death based on the testimony of a lone witness. You are not to accept a ransom for the life of a murderer who deserves to die. He must surely be put to death. Nor should you accept a ransom for the person who flees to a city of refuge and allow him to return and live on his own land before the death of the high priest. Do not pollute the land where you live, for bloodshed pollutes the land, and no atonement can be made for the land on which the blood is shed, except by the blood of the one who shed it. Do not defile the land where you live and where I dwell, for I, the Lord, dwell among the Israelites. All right. It's where we get capital punishment from. Numbers chapter 36. Now the family heads of the clan of Gilead, son of Machir, son of Manasseh, one of the clans of Joseph, approached Moses and the leaders who were the heads of the Israelite families and addressed them, saying, When the Lord commanded my Lord to give the land as an inheritance to the Israelites by lot, he also commanded him to give the inheritance of our brother Zelophehad to his daughters. But if they marry any of the men from the other tribes of Israel, their inheritance will be withdrawn from the portion of our fathers and added to the tribe into which they marry. So our allotted inheritance would be taken away. And when the Jubilee for the Israelites comes, their inheritance will be added to the tribe into which they marry and taken away from the tribe of our fathers. So at the word of the Lord, Moses commanded the Israelites, The tribe of the sons of Joseph speaks correctly. This is what the Lord has commanded concerning the daughters of Zelophehad. They may marry anyone they please, provided they marry within a clan of the tribe of their father. No inheritance in Israel may be transferred from tribe to tribe, because each of the Israelites is to retain the inheritance of the tribe of his fathers. Every daughter who possesses an inheritance from any Israelite tribe must marry within a clan of the tribe of her father, so that every Israelite will possess the inheritance of his fathers. No inheritance may be transferred from one tribe to another, for each tribe of Israel must retain its inheritance. So the daughters of Zelophehad did as the Lord had commanded Moses. Mahlah, Tirzah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Noah, the daughters of Zelophehad, were married to cousins on their father's side. They married within the clans of the descendants of Manasseh son of Joseph, and their inheritance remained within the tribe of their father's clan. These are the commandments and ordinances that the Lord gave the Israelites through Moses on the plains of Moab by the Jordan across from Jericho. Mark chapter 13, starting in verse 28. Now learn this lesson from the fig tree. As soon as its branches become tender and sprout leaves, you know that summer is near. So also, when you see these things happening, know that he is near, right at the door. Truly I tell you, this generation will not pass away until all these things have happened. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. No one knows about that day or hour, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. Be on your guard and stay alert, for you do not know when the appointed time will come. It is like a man going on a journey who left his house, put each servant in charge of his own task, and instructed the doorkeeper to keep watch. Therefore keep watch, because you do not know when the master of the house will return, whether in the evening, at midnight, when the rooster crows, or in the morning. Otherwise he may arrive without notice and find you sleeping. And what I say to you, I say to everyone, keep watch. Probably shouldn't have that phone on the rock there. That could get super hot. Okay, I keep hearing things. I'm not sure what it is, but there's a ton of those turkey vultures flying around. You may be able to see them up above a little bit. I'm not sure, but I think some of what I'm hearing is them doing stuff. I don't think I've ever heard him making noises like that. I don't know. That one might have been a hawk or something they were squawking at. I don't know. Hey, Angel, how's it going? Good to see you. Okay, what is this? Got, it looks like, what is that guy's name? Not Soundwave, Shockwave, I think Shockwave Transformer, that's what it looks like to me. Very basic version. It's really hot though. I don't know how long my camera is going to hold out before it overheats. So I need to get some reading done. Oh. Luke chapter 21, versing. Oh man. I guess that makes sense. We're versing. Luke chapter 21, starting in verse 29. Then Jesus told them a parable. Look at the fig tree and all the trees. When they sprout leaves, you can see for yourselves and know that summer is near. So also, when you see these things happening, know that the kingdom of God is near. Truly I tell you, this generation will not pass away until all these things have happened. Truly I tell you, this generation will not pass away until all these things have happened. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. But watch yourselves, or your hearts will be weighed down by dissipation, drunkenness, and the worries of life, and that day will spring upon you suddenly like a snare. For it will come upon all who dwell on the face of all the earth. So keep watch at all times, and pray that you may have the strength to escape all that is about to happen and to stand before the Son of Man. Every day Jesus taught at the temple, but every evening he went out to spend the night on the Mount of Olives. And early in the morning all the people would come to hear him at the temple. All right, that's it for that reading, but I think I'm going to bring the camera up here and trade places and go sit over there. It's going to put the camera straight in the sun though, so I'm not sure how this will work. My time and readings are going to be limited by the heat. It's quite hot today, although this next reading looks short based on it's only 3 chapters, but they might be long chapters. Yeah. So it's just a normal size reading. Okay, switch places with the camera. I need some kind of like foolproof heat shield for the thing. That umbrella I have is something. It's better than nothing, but it's not ideal. Kind of wonder if there's such a thing that, probably not, but that would allow wind to pass through so it doesn't act like a sail, but not the sun. I think that's breaking all the laws of physics, but yeah, I don't think that would work. The other thing I was looking into, I haven't decided on anything yet, but I might buy a little battery operated fan that can attach to the tripod and just blow straight on the phone and see if that would help. Seems like that would make a difference anyway. Problem is if it's super hot outside, it's not going to cool it down to blow more hot air on it, but at least it might push away some of the sort of heat, act like a heat sink or something, but anyway. Okay, let's see what we can do here. This is the terrible hack that I have going on right now. I needed an extension, and that's the best I could come up with, just what I had with me. I didn't plan it that way. I was fortunate that I even had that, because if I didn't have that, I couldn't have covered my phone at all. Okay, good. It's still going. Last time I did this exact same reading in that exact same spot, I came down to find out that my camera had overheated and there was no recording. So at least I got through one more. I don't know if I'll be able to do this next one, but I'll try. There's no wind too. It's completely stale air. I don't know what to call it, but so plan is I'm gonna try to climb those boulders over there, which is where this camera was a minute ago. But I need to get this camera covered somehow. So we'll try to get the umbrella on it somehow, but I don't know if it's possible. I was sort of leaning the umbrella up against that boulder over there this last time, and I don't think I have the same scenario. Actually, you know what I should do? If I brought my hiking pole with me, I could probably attach the umbrella to that. Then I could sort of extend that higher if I need to. That's something to think about in the future. I don't always bring my hiking pole because, like, something like this, I don't need it. But yeah, I kind of wish I would have brought it today. Technically, it's not unreasonable to get it. It's like back at the car, but I would have to hike a ways to get back there. This setup is pretty hokey, that's for sure. It's almost not hokey though. I probably have some stuff to make this better. Let me see. Let's give myself the best situation I can make with what I have. Might not have. I used to carry a lot more extra stuff just for this kind of situation where something's not working. I got a bunch of stuff I can throw together. By the way, massive smoke. I'm sure you noticed wildfire smoke blowing in from a ways away. Yeah, this is not a very good setup here. I don't think I can get this to stay in place very well. To make it super tight. It's really close to being like staying in position, but not quite. I need like 2 of these little gear tie things and then I could do it, but I had another one somewhere earlier, but I might have dropped it near the car because I haven't seen it since I came up here. I probably have something somewhere in my pack that I could use. Or I could make some lashings like people that build rafts when they're stranded on island. But that's a little extreme. Oh, this might work. Found a rubber band I can possibly use. Probably end up breaking it though. It's those old rubber bands that just get brittle. It might be in that stage. That might be enough. I just need to make sure it doesn't like fall over. So that might do it. Okay. Just even in that short time of not having it covered, it's probably already getting close to overheating. trick. Yeah, I probably should have my hiking pole or something like that to help stabilize this stuff. Okay, so the idea is I'm going to try to get on top of one of those boulders over there. It's no easy. I mean, it's not easy. I've done it before, but I was in better shape back then. But hopefully I can still get up there. Oh, we just finished with Numbers. I didn't really pay close attention, but switch into Deuteronomy. All right. Yeah, make sure this works. Yep. It's a good thing I just had a thought, because I wouldn't be surprised if I climbed up there without these cell phones, and then I wouldn't be able to change the stuff. Actually have to turn them off temporarily and put them in my pockets, because I can't climb while holding them, that's for sure. Oh, shoot. I forgot. I keep forgetting this. I want to mark the spots that I read. I always forget. It's so annoying. It's unbelievable how bad my memory is. I just have to form the habit. At least I eventually remember. Usually it's when I pick up my water bottle and see the smart button on there. Oh, okay. Okay, this doesn't look too bad. I think there's several different ways I could get up, but I'll just try right here first. That was easy. Okay, I could go up to this taller one, but it doesn't look that comfortable, so I think I'll just stay down here. Nice, pretty comfy. Smoke is so bad. Funny thing is, I don't really smell it that much. I'm surprised. It looks thick enough to be able to smell it. I might be growing immune to it in the sense that when you're immersed in some smell, your brain just kind of tunes it out until you like get into fresh air and then come back out, and then sometimes you smell it then. And it's possible that the air inside my house is also smoky. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to be reading Deuteronomy 1 through 2 and Matthew 24. Hopefully my phone lasts long enough to get through this. These are pretty long chapters. Deuteronomy chapter 1. These are the words that Moses spoke to all Israel in the wilderness, east of the Jordan, in the Arabah, opposite Suf, between Paran and Tophel, Laban, Hazeroth, and Dizahab. It is an 11-day journey from Horeb to Kadesh Barnea by way of Mount Seir. In the 40th year, on the first day of the 11th month, Moses proclaimed to the Israelites all that the Lord had commanded him concerning them. This was after he had defeated Sihon, king of the Amorites, who lived in Heshbon, and then at Edrei had defeated Og, king of Bashan, who lived in Ashtaroth. On the east side of the Jordan in the land of Moab, Moses began to explain this law, saying, "The Lord our God said to us at Horeb, 'You have stayed at this mountain long enough. Resume your journey and go to the hill country of the Amorites. Go to all the neighboring peoples in the Arabah, in the hill country, in the foothills, in the Negev, and along the seacoast, to the land of the Canaanites, and to Lebanon, as far as the great river Euphrates. See, I have placed the land before you. Enter and possess the land that the Lord swore he would give to your fathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and to their descendants after them. At that time I said to you, I cannot carry the burden for you alone. The Lord your God has multiplied you, so that today you are as numerous as the stars in the sky. May the Lord, the God of your fathers, increase you 1,000 times over and bless you as he has promised. But how can I bear your troubles, burdens, and disputes all by myself? Choose for yourselves wise, understanding, and respected men from each of your tribes, and I will appoint them as your leaders." And you answered me and said, "What you propose to do is good." So I took the leaders of your tribes, wise and respected men, and appointed them as leaders over you, as commanders of thousands, of hundreds, of fifties, and of tens, and as officers for your tribes. At that time I charged your judges, hear the disputes between your brothers, and judge fairly between a man and his brother or a foreign resident. Show no partiality in judging. Hear both small and great alike. Do not be intimidated by anyone, for judgment belongs to God. And bring to me any case too difficult for you, and I will hear it. And at that time I commanded you all the things you were to do. And just as the Lord our God had commanded us, we set out from Horeb and went toward the hill country of the Amorites, through all the vast and terrifying wilderness you have seen. When we reached Kadesh Barnea, I said, "You have reached the hill country of the Amorites, which the Lord our God is giving us. See, the Lord your God has placed the land before you. Go up and take possession of it as the Lord, the God of your fathers, has told you. Do not be afraid or discouraged." Then all of you approached me and said, "Let us send men ahead of us to search out the land and bring us word of what route to follow, and which cities to enter." The plan seemed good to me, so I selected 12 men from among you, one from each tribe. They left and went up into the hill country and came to the valley of Eshcol and spied out the land. They took some of the fruit of the land in their hands, carried it down to us, and brought us word. "It is a good land that the Lord our God is giving us." But you were unwilling to go up. You rebelled against the command of the Lord your God. You grumbled in your tents and said, "Because the Lord hates us, he brought us out of the land of Egypt to deliver us into the hand of the Amorites to be annihilated. Where can we go? Our brothers have made our hearts melt, saying, 'The people are larger and taller than we are. The cities are large, with walls up to the heavens. We even saw the descendants of the Anakim there.' So I said to you, do not be terrified or afraid of them. The Lord your God, who goes before you, will fight for you, just as you saw him do for you in Egypt and in the wilderness, where the Lord your God carried you as a man carries his son all the way by which you traveled until you reached this place. But in spite of all this, you did not trust the Lord your God, who went before you on the journey in the fire by night and in the cloud by day, to seek out a place for you to camp and to show you the road to travel. When the Lord heard your words, he grew angry and swore an oath, saying, 'Not one of the men of this evil generation shall see the good land I swore to give your fathers, except Caleb son of Jephunneh. He will see it, and I will give him and his descendants the land on which he has set foot, because he followed the Lord wholeheartedly.' The Lord was also angry with me on your account, and he said, 'Not even you shall enter the land. Joshua son of Nun, who stands before you, will enter it. Encourage him, for he will enable Israel to inherit the land. And the little ones you said would become captives, your children, who on that day did not know good from evil, will enter the land that I give them, and they will possess it. But you are to turn back and head for the wilderness along the route to the Red Sea. We have sinned against the Lord." You replied. I'll start that part over. Let's see. "But you are to turn back and head for the wilderness along the route to the Red Sea. We have sinned against the Lord," you replied. "We will go up and fight, as the Lord our God has commanded us." Then each of you put on his weapons of war, thinking it easy to go up into the hill country. But the Lord said to me, "Tell them not to go up and fight, for I am not with you to keep you from defeat by your enemies." So I spoke to you, but you would not listen. You rebelled against the command of the Lord and presumptuously went up into the hill country. Then the Amorites, who lived in the hills, came out against you and chased you like a swarm of bees. They routed you from Seir all the way to Hormah. And you returned and wept before the Lord, but he would not listen to your voice or give ear to you. For this reason you stayed in Kadesh for a long time, a very long time. I like that. I wonder if that's in all the translations. That's just like I don't know what kind of literary device that is, but it's not something that I can remember reading in the Bible. It's like, stayed there for a long time, a very long time. You know, he's like emphasizing it. It's kind of interesting. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I would write, but yeah, it's very, very casual, almost not like sarcasm, but there's like a little bit of what's the word? I can't think of it. I can't think of whatever attribute that would have or emotion, but it's almost like the people would have repeated him. It's like, you stayed there a very long time, and everybody's like, a very long time. Like almost feeling empathy toward each other and stuff like that. Anyway, interesting. Kind of like, I know, right? I can't stand that expression that's popular these days. IKR, I know, right? It's like kind of repeating it. Repeating whatever the last thing that was said. Deuteronomy chapter 2. Then we turned back and headed for the wilderness by the way of the Red Sea, as the Lord had instructed me, and for many days we wandered around Mount Seir. At this time the Lord said to me, "You have been wandering around this hill country long enough. Turn to the north, and command the people. You will pass through the territory of your brothers, the descendants of Esau, who live in Seir. They will be afraid of you, so you must be very careful. Do not provoke them, for I will not give you any of their land, not even a footprint, because I have given Mount Seir to Esau as his possession. You are to pay them in silver for the food you eat and the water you drink. Indeed, the Lord your God has blessed you in all the work of your hands. He has watched over your journey through this vast wilderness. The Lord your God has been with you these 40 years, and you have lacked nothing." So we passed by our brothers, the descendants of Esau, who live in Seir. We turned away from the Arabah road, which comes up from Elath and Ezion-Geber, and traveled along the road of the wilderness of Moab. Then the Lord said to me, "Do not harass the Moabites or provoke them to war, for I will not give you any of their land, because I have given Ar to the descendants of Lot as their possession." The Emites used to live there, a people great and many, as tall as the Anakites. Like the Anakites, they were also regarded as Rephaim, though the Moabites called them Emites. The Horites used to live in Seir, but the descendants of Esau drove them out. They destroyed the Horites from before them and settled in their place, just as Israel did in the land that the Lord gave them as their possession. Now arise and cross over the brook of Zered. So we crossed over the brook of Zered. The time we spent traveling from Kadesh Barnea until we crossed over the brook of Zered was 38 years, until that entire generation of fighting men had perished from the camp, as the Lord had sworn to them. Indeed, the Lord's hand was against them to eliminate them from the camp until they had all perished. Now when all the fighting men among the people had died, the Lord said to me, "Today you are going to cross the border of Moab at Ar. But when you get close to the Ammonites, do not harass them or provoke them, for I will not give you any of the land of the Ammonites. I have given it to the descendants of Lot as their possession." That too was regarded as the land of the Rephaim, who used to live there, though the Ammonites called them Zamzumites. They were a people great and many, as tall as the Anakites, but the Lord destroyed them from before the Ammonites, who drove them out and settled in their place, just as he had done for the descendants of Esau who lived in Seir, when he destroyed the Horites from before them. They drove them out and had lived in their place to this day. And the Avim, who lived in villages as far as Gaza, were destroyed by the Caphtorites, who came out of Caphtor and settled in their place. Arise, set out, and cross the Arnon valley. See, I have delivered into your hand Sihon the Amorite, king of Heshbon, and his land. Begin to take possession of it and engage him in battle. This very day I will begin to put the dread and fear of you upon all the nations under heaven. They will hear the reports of you and tremble in anguish because of you. So from the wilderness of Kedemoth I sent messengers with an offer of peace to Sihon, king of Heshbon, saying, "Let us pass through your land. We will stay on the main road. We will not turn to the right or to the left." You can sell us food to eat and water to drink in exchange for silver. Only let us pass through on foot, just as the descendants of Esau who live in Seir and the Moabites who live in Ar did for us, until we cross the Jordan into the land that the Lord our God is giving us. But Sihon king of Heshbon would not let us pass through, for the Lord your God had made his spirit stubborn and his heart obstinate, that he might deliver him into your hand, as is the case this day. Then the Lord said to me, See, I have begun to deliver Sihon and his land over to you. Now begin to conquer and possess his land. So Sihon and his whole army came out for battle against us at Jahaz. And the Lord our God delivered him over to us, and we defeated him and his sons and his whole army. At that time we captured all his cities and devoted to destruction the people of every city, including women and children. We left no survivors. We carried off for ourselves only the livestock and the plunder from the cities we captured. From Aroer on the rim of the Arnon Valley, along with the city in the valley, even as far as Gilead, not one city had walls too high for us. The Lord our God gave us all of them. But you did not go near the land of the Ammonites, or the land along the banks of the Jabbok River, or the cities of the hill country, or any place that the Lord our God had forbidden. All right, I have no idea if my camera's still going over there, but I'm going to keep reading because I don't want to climb down and check. Got one more chapter on this reading. If I can do another reading before it overheats, I will, but I don't know. We'll see. Matthew chapter 24. As Jesus left the temple and was walking away, his disciples came up to him to point out its buildings. Do you see all these things? He replied. Truly I tell you, not one stone here will be left on another. Every one will be thrown down. While Jesus was sitting on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately. Tell us, they said, when will these things happen? And what will be the sign of your coming and of the end of the age? Jesus answered, See to it that no one deceives you. For many will come in my name, claiming, I am the Christ, and will deceive many. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed. These things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginning of birth pains. Then they will deliver you over to be persecuted and killed, and you will be hated by all nations because of my name. At that time many will fall away and will betray and hate one another, and many false prophets will arise and mislead many. Because of the multiplication of wickedness, the love of most will grow cold. But the one who perseveres to the end will be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in all the world as a testimony to all nations, and then the end will come. So when you see standing in the holy place the abomination of desolation described by the prophet Daniel, let the reader understand. Then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Let no one on the housetop come down to retrieve anything from his house, and let no one in the field return for his cloak. How miserable those days will be for pregnant and nursing mothers. Pray that your fight will not occur in the winter or on the Sabbath. For at that time there will be great tribulation, unmatched from the beginning of the world until now, and never to be seen again. If those days had not been cut short, nobody would be saved. But for the sake of the elect, those days will be cut short. At that time, if anyone says to you, Look, here is the Christ, or there he is, do not believe it. For false Christs and false prophets will appear and perform great signs and wonders that would deceive even the elect, if that were possible. See, I have told you in advance. So if they tell you, There he is in the wilderness, do not go out, or Here he is in the inner rooms, do not believe it. For just as the lightning comes from the east and flashes as far as the west, so will be the coming of the Son of Man. Wherever there is a carcass, there the vultures will gather. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light. The stars will fall from the sky, and the powers of the heavens will be shaken. At that time the sign of the Son of Man will appear in heaven, and all the tribes of the earth will mourn. They will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he will send out his angels with a loud trumpet call, and they will gather his elect from the four winds, from one end of the heavens to the other. Now learn this lesson from the fig tree. As soon as its branches become tender and sprout leaves, you know that summer is near. So also, when you see all these things, you will know that he is near, right at the door. Truly I tell you, this generation will not pass away until all these things have happened. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. No one knows about that day or hour, not even the angels in heaven nor the Son, but only the Father. As it was in the days of Noah, so will it be at the coming of the Son of Man. For in the days before the flood, people were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, up to the day Noah entered the ark. And they were oblivious until the flood came and swept them all away. So will it be at the coming of the Son of Man. 2 men will be in the field, one will be taken and the other left. 2 women will be grinding at the mill, one will be taken and the other left. Therefore keep watch, because you do not know the day on which your Lord will come. But understand this, if the homeowner had known in which watch of the night the thief was coming, he would have kept watch and would not have let his house be broken into. For this reason you also must be ready, because the Son of Man will come at an hour you do not expect. Who then is the faithful and wise servant whom the master has put in charge of his household, to give the others their food at the proper time? Blessed is that servant whose master finds him doing so when he returns. Truly I tell you, he will put him in charge of all his possessions. But suppose that servant is wicked and says in his heart, "My master will be away a long time." And he begins to beat his fellow servants and to eat and drink with drunkards. The master of that servant will come on a day he does not expect, and at an hour he does not anticipate. Then he will cut him to pieces and assign him a place with the hypocrites, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. All right, made it through another reading. Let's see. Oh, man, I got 2 more readings this for week 14. Love to get through both, but it's kind of up to the heat problem here. Oh man. And gotta find some more angles. There's plenty of angle Munoz's. Actually, there's only one that I'm aware of. Oh man, how do I get down though? Can't go this way, gotta turn around. Surely I didn't just go all the way up here. That would be insane. Must have done an elbow. right. Now for the moment of truth to see if my camera is still going or if it's overheated. Ooh. Looks like it's still going. Okay, I'm gonna take my stuff up somewhere and try to scout out a place, and then I'll come back for the camera because it's too much to carry right now. I don't remember if I marked it up there or not. I have no idea. I guess I can check. If not, I might actually climb up there again as punishment for forgetting. I'm so bad at remembering. That's kind of a cool spot. Yeah, that's different enough. Okay, we'll do it. Do it here if I can. So let me check my timestamp file. If it has 14 entries, then I marked it. Don't remember. I did not. I'm not too surprised. Okay. Not going to make the mistake of leaving my water bottle. That's how I mark it. So I'm going to climb up there again. I could just stand below it because it's only like 3 or 4 feet away from the top from being down below, but as the crow flies, we'll see. I just don't want to forget. Maybe I could get up close enough. Nah, it's not that hard. It's actually harder to get down than it is to get up. Can't believe I forgot. For some reason I was AI hallucinating that I already did it. This thing is a massive delay. probably other ways to get down too, but I think it's not that hard. It's just not easy. I wouldn't call it easy. It should be easier now, though, that I have already done it once. I should kind of remember what I did. Now that I've given my phone more time to overheat, I might not be able to get another reading in. We'll see. Looks like I can get my camera under the umbrella nicely in this spot, which is good. Oh man, somehow that mode got switched. I hope that doesn't make those previous streams look stupid. It's annoying. I don't know if they were level because I had my gimbal on a really dumb mode. I wasn't aware of it. Sorry I didn't have my chat open while I was moving stuff around. I don't really think anyone's here, but... Okay. Should work. Oh wait, I wanted to get these red branch things in. That was kind of... Oh, what? Again? Why? Somehow I'm accidentally pushing the mode button. I don't know how that's happening. Part of the reason I liked this angle is those red things, so... I might have messed up the angle on that last one. I'll have to check the replay. It'd be annoying, but whatever. don't think I've ever come here before, like this exact spot. Hopefully I'm not cut off on the stream. That would look really dumb if like the top of my head was taller than the screen. So stupid. Okay, looks fine. Okay, so we're going to be reading Deuteronomy chapters 3 to 4 and Matthew 25. This one's a little bit shorter than the last one, but not super short. If my phone will survive, I'll do one more reading after this, because that will finish week 14. I could actually do a reverse angle. It's kind of cheating in a way because I'd be sitting on the same, not quite the same boulder, but a similar boulder I was at before, so I probably won't do that. But I did just think of, let's push the buttons before I forget. For once I didn't forget. It's amazing. I don't think I was that far from forgetting though. Oh, while I'm thinking about it, I should check my microphone too, because it could be, I mean, it should be fine, but worth checking. Still going? That's good. Deuteronomy chapter 3. Then we turned and went up the road to Bashan, and Og, king of Bashan, and his whole army came out to meet us in battle at Edrei. Let's start over. Voices a little bit amiss. Or rather, it's missing. Interesting. So, several streams ago, I saw these spike ball plants, and I was wondering if I had ever seen them around, and here's some more of them. So I guess they're not that uncommon, but I don't remember seeing them before. My memory sucks, though. I probably have pictures of him in my hiking photos. Oh, I knew I had a burp coming. I wanted to get it out before I started. Deuteronomy chapter 3. Then we turned and went up the road to Bashan, and Og king of Bashan and his whole army came out to meet us in battle at Edrei. But the Lord said to me, Do not fear him, for I have delivered him into your hand, along with all his people and his land. Do to him as you did to Sihon king of the Amorites, who lived in Heshbon. So the Lord our God has also delivered Og king of Bashan and his whole army into our hands. We struck them down until no survivor was left. At that time we captured all 60 of his cities. There was not a single city we failed to take. The entire region of Argob, the kingdom of Og and Bashan. All these cities were fortified with high walls and gates and bars, and there were many more unwalled villages. We devoted them to destruction, as we had done to Sihon king of Heshbon, utterly destroying the men, women, and children of every city. But all the livestock and plunder of the cities we carried off for ourselves. At that time we took from the 2 kings of the Amorites the land across the Jordan, from the Arnon valley as far as Mount Hermon, which the Sidonians call Sirion, but the Amorites call Senir. All the cities of the plateau, all of Gilead, and all of Bashan, as far as the cities of Salika and Edrei in the kingdom of Og. For only Og, king of Bashan, had remained of the remnant of the Rephaim. His bed of iron, 9 cubits long and 4 cubits wide, is still in Rabbah of the Ammonites. So at that time we took possession of this land. To the Reubenites and Gadites I gave the land beyond Aroer along the Arnon valley, and half the hill country of Gilead, along with its cities. To the half-tribe of Manasseh I gave the rest of Gilead and all of Bashan, and the kingdom of Og. The entire region of Argob, the whole territory of Bashan, used to be called the land of the Rephaim. Jair, a descendant of Manasseh, took the whole region of Argob as far as the border of the Geshurites and the Maacathites. He renamed Bashan after himself, Havoth Jair, by which it is called to this day. To Machir I gave Gilead, and to the Reubenites and Gadites I gave the territory from Gilead to the Arnon valley. The middle of the valley was the border, and up to the Jabbok river, the border of the Ammonites. The Jordan river in the Arabah bordered it from Chinnereth to the sea of the Arabah, the salt sea, with the slopes of Pisgah to the east. At that time I commanded you, The Lord your God has given you this land to possess. All your men of valor are to cross over armed for battle ahead of your brothers, the Israelites. But your wives, your children, and your livestock, I know that you have much livestock, may remain in the cities I have given you, until the Lord gives rest to your brothers as he has to you, and they too have taken possession of the land that the Lord your God is giving them across the Jordan. Then each of you may return to the possession I have given you. And at that time I commanded Joshua, Your own eyes have seen all that the Lord your God has done to these 2 kings. The Lord will do the same to all the kingdoms you are about to enter. Do not be afraid of them, for the Lord your God himself will fight for you. At that time I also pleaded with the Lord, O Lord God, you have begun to show your greatness and power to your servant. For what God in heaven or on earth can perform such works and mighty acts as yours? Please let me cross over and see the good land beyond the Jordan, that pleasant hill country as well as Lebanon. But the Lord was angry with me on account of you, and he would not listen to me. That is enough, the Lord said to me. Do not speak to me again about this matter. Go to the top of Pisgah and look to the west and north and south and east. See the land with your own eyes, for you will not cross this Jordan. But commission Joshua, encourage him and strengthen him, for he will cross over ahead of the people and enable them to inherit the land that you will see. So we stayed in the valley opposite Beth Peor. Deuteronomy chapter 4. Hear now, O Israel, the statutes and ordinances I am teaching you to follow, so that you may live and may enter and take possession of the land that the Lord, the God of your fathers, is giving you. You must not add to or subtract from what I command you, so that you may keep the commandments of the Lord your God that I am giving you. Your eyes have seen what the Lord did at Baal Peor, for the Lord your God destroyed from among you all who followed Baal of Peor. But you who held fast to the Lord your God are alive to this day, every one of you. See, I have taught you statutes and ordinances just as the Lord my God has commanded me, so that you may follow them in the land that you are about to enter and possess. Observe them carefully, for this will show your wisdom and understanding in the sight of the peoples, who will hear of all these statutes and say, Surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is great enough to have a God as near to them as the Lord our God is to us whenever we call on him? And what nation is great enough to have righteous statutes and ordinances like this entire law I set before you today? Only be on your guard and diligently watch yourselves, so that you do not forget the things your eyes have seen, and so that they do not slip from your heart as long as you live. Teach them to your children and grandchildren. The day you stood before the Lord your God at Horeb, the Lord said to me, Gather the people before me to hear my words, so that they may learn to fear me all the days they live on the earth, and that they may teach them to their children. You came near me and stood at the base of the mountain, a mountain blazing with fire to the heavens, with black clouds and deep darkness. And the Lord spoke to you out of the fire. You heard the sound of the words, but saw no form. There was only a voice. He declared to you his covenant, which he commanded you to follow, the 10 commandments that he wrote on 2 tablets of stone. At that time the Lord commanded me to teach you the statutes and ordinances you are to follow in the land that you are crossing the Jordan to possess. Since you saw no form of any kind on the day the Lord spoke to you out of the fire at Horeb, be careful that you do not act corruptly and make an idol for yourselves of any form or shape, whether in the likeness of a male or female, of any beast that is on the earth, or bird that flies in the air, or of any creature that crawls on the ground, or fish that is in the waters below. When you look to the heavens and see the sun and moon and stars, all the host of heaven, do not be enticed to bow down and worship what the Lord your God has apportioned to all the nations under heaven. Yet the Lord has taken you and brought you out of the iron furnace, out of Egypt, to be the people of his inheritance, as you are today. The Lord, however, was angry with me on account of you, and he swore that I would not cross the Jordan to enter the good land that the Lord your God is giving you as an inheritance. For I will not be crossing the Jordan, because I must die in this land, but you shall cross over and take possession of that good land. Be careful that you do not forget the covenant of the Lord your God that he made with you. Do not make an idol for yourselves in the form of anything he has forbidden you. For the Lord your God is a consuming fire, a jealous God. After you have children and grandchildren, and you have been in the land a long time, if you then act corruptly and make an idol of any form, doing evil in the sight of the Lord your God and provoking him to anger, I call heaven and earth as witnesses against you this day, that you will quickly perish from the land that you are crossing the Jordan to possess. You will not live long upon it, but will be utterly destroyed. Then the Lord will scatter you among the peoples, and only a few of you will survive among the nations to which the Lord will drive you. And there you will serve man-made gods of wood and stone, which cannot see or hear or eat or smell. But if from there you will seek the Lord your God, you will find him if you seek him with all your heart and with all your soul. When you are in distress and all these things have happened to you, then in later days you will return to the Lord your God and listen to his voice. For the Lord your God is a merciful God. He will not abandon you or destroy you or forget the covenant with your fathers, which he swore to them by oath. Indeed, ask now from one end of the heavens to the other about the days that long preceded you, from the day that God created man on earth. Has anything as great as this ever happened or been reported? Has a people ever heard the voice of God speaking out of the fire as you have and lived? Or has any God tried to take as his own a nation out of another nation, by trials, signs, wonders, and war, by a strong hand and an outstretched arm, and by great terrors, as the Lord your God did for you in Egypt before your eyes? You were shown these things so that you would know that the Lord is God. There is no other besides him. He let you hear his voice from heaven to discipline you, and on earth he showed you his great fire, and you heard his words out of the fire. Because he loved your fathers, he chose their descendants after them, and brought you out of Egypt by his presence and great power, to drive out before you nations greater and mightier than you, and to bring you into their land and give it to you for your inheritance, as it is this day. Know therefore this day, and take to heart, that the Lord is God in heaven above, and on the earth below there is no other. Keep his statutes and commandments which I am giving you today, so that you and your children after you may prosper, and that you may live long in the land that the Lord your God is giving you for all time. Then Moses set aside 3 cities across the Jordan to the east, to which a manslayer could flee after killing his neighbor unintentionally without prior malice. To save one's own life, he could flee to one of these cities: Bezer in the wilderness on the plateau belonging to the Reubenites, Ramoth and Gilead belonging to the Gadites, or Golan in Bashan belonging to the Manassites. This is the law that Moses set before the Israelites. These are the testimonies, statutes, and ordinances that Moses proclaimed to them after they had come out of Egypt, while they were in the valley across the Jordan facing Beth Peor in the land of Sihon, king of the Amorites, who lived in Heshbon and was defeated by Moses and the Israelites after they had come out of Egypt. They took possession of the land belonging to Sihon and to Og, king of Bashan, the 2 Amorite kings across the Jordan to the east, extending from Aroer on the rim of the Arnon Valley as far as Mount Sion, that is Hermon, including all the Arabah on the east side of the Jordan and as far as the Sea of the Arabah below the slopes of Pisgah. All right. My phones are getting hot. I have no idea if that one's still going or if it's pointing in the right direction. All right, I got one more chapter to go and then I'll check it and see how we're doing. It's really hot. Matthew chapter 25. At that time the kingdom of heaven will be like 10 virgins who took their lamps and went out to meet the bridegroom. 5 of them were foolish and 5 were wise. The foolish ones took their lamps but did not take along any extra oil. But the wise ones took oil in flasks along with their lamps. When the bridegroom was delayed, they all became drowsy and fell asleep. At midnight the cry rang out, "Here is the bridegroom, come out to meet him." Then all the virgins woke up and trimmed their lamps. The foolish ones said to the wise, "Give us some of your oil, our lamps are going out." "No," said the wise ones, "or there may not be enough for both of us and you. Or there may not be enough for both us and you. Instead, go to those who sell oil and buy some for yourselves." But while they were on their way to buy it, the bridegroom arrived. Those who were ready went in with him to the wedding banquet, and the door was shut. Later the other virgins arrived and said, "Lord, Lord, open the door for us." But he replied, "Truly I tell you, I do not know you. Therefore keep watch, because you do not know the day or the hour. For it is just like a man going on a journey, who called his servants and entrusted them with his possessions. To one he gave 5 talents, to another 2 talents, and to another 1 talent, each according to his own ability, and he went on his journey. The servant who had received the 5 talents went at once and put them to work and gained 5 more. Likewise the one with 2 talents gained 2 more. But the servant who had received the 1 talent went off, dug a hole in the ground, and hid his master's money. After a long time the master of those servants returned to settle accounts with them. The servant who had received the 5 talents came and presented 5 more. "Master," he said, "you entrusted me with 5 talents. See, I have gained 5 more." His master replied, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Enter into the joy of your master." The servant who had received the 2 talents also came and said, "Master, you entrusted me with 2 talents. See, I have gained 2 more." His master replied, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Enter into the joy of your master." Finally, the servant who had received the 1 talent came and said, "Master, I knew that you are a hard man, reaping where you have not sown and gathering where you have not scattered seed. So I was afraid and went out and hid your talent in the ground. See, you have what belongs to you." "You wicked, lazy servant," replied his master. "You knew that I reap where I have not sown and gather where I have not scattered seed. Then you should have deposited my money with the bankers, and on my return I would have received it back with interest. Therefore take the talent from him and give it to the one who has 10 talents. For everyone who has will be given more, and he will have an abundance. But the one who does not have, even what he has, will be taken away from him. And throw that worthless servant into the outer darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. When the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the angels with him, he will sit on his glorious throne. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate the people one from another, as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He will place the sheep on his right and the goats on his left. Then the king will say to those on his right, "Come, you who are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you visited me." Then the righteous will answer him, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and take you in, or naked and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and visit you?" And the king will reply, "Truly, I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers of mine, you did for me." Then he will say to those on his left, "Depart from me, you who are cursed, into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry, and you gave me nothing to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me nothing to drink. I was a stranger, and you did not take me in. I was naked, and you did not clothe me. I was sick and in prison, and you did not visit me." And they too will reply, "Lord, When did we see you hungry or thirsty or a stranger or naked or sick or in prison and did not minister to you?' Then the king will answer, 'Truly I tell you, whatever you did not do for one of the least of these, you did not do for me.' And they will go away into eternal punishment, but the righteous into eternal life." All right. Well, not too surprised. Chrome closed. On this phone, it's overheating. Which means I can't see chat, but I don't really expect anybody to be here, but never really know. All right. Ugh. Wouldn't be surprised if my main phone is overheating too. Okay, I did mark this place. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do another reading. We'll see what that phone is like. This one doesn't feel too hot, but sometimes you can't really tell until it just suddenly goes offline. All right. Maybe, just maybe, I could find a place in the shade. The sun is kind of like straight up though, so I don't know if I'll be able to find any place like that. I wonder if are these the same bushes? They look very similar, but some of them have those, I don't think they're the same, but they must be related somehow. They could be the same, I don't know, it's weird. Some of them have those spiky balls on them, some of them don't. And the ones that don't have this red bark on them, but I don't think it's always red like this. I don't know. Anyway, they're probably two different plants, but have a lot of similar characteristics. Oh, let's see if this is still going. Wow, it is. Cool. Okay, well, I'll try to walk around, see if I can find one more spot. Actually, like right here is a good spot. It's kind of cool. Oh, let's see. It's not in the shade, but don't know. I can't really, I don't know if I have a way to cover the camera at all, so it's going to be kind of exposed, which is not good. Yeah, I can't quite get the angle where the... I wonder if I could do this. That would be kind of tricky. Yeah, I don't think there's any angle I can do where the umbrella is covering it, but not in the picture. So close. It's like almost works, but not quite. Okay, I'll try one more thing here. Kind of, sort of covering it, but it's so annoying. It's like I keep getting it really close and then I can't quite do it. I'll try that. I don't know. This might die in the middle of the stream because it's not really out of the sun, so we'll see. And then there's breezes too that could just blow the whole thing over. That would be terrible. I'll try it. Pretty good chance this will not make it through, but we'll just see what happens. All right, we'll try to read Deuteronomy 5 through 7, Matthew 26, verses 1 to 16, and Mark 14, 1 through 11. You can see it shaking over there because of the wind. It's funny because there was like no wind earlier, but now the one time where it's like I don't want it. Well, I never really want the wind for these situations, but this is a cool spot, but I think what would probably be the smartest thing is to find a spot in the shade and out of the wind. Because if I'm in the shade, I don't have to have the umbrella thing on there, which acts like a wind sail, and I'll save this spot for another stream sometime when it's not so hot outside or something, or early in the morning or whatever. It's a really cool spot, but I think that would be a good idea. So I'll probably just go down in the forest, and if I don't even know if my phone will last that long, even just getting down to where I find a spot, just because it's so hot outside, but we'll try. I need to get packed up, but I think I don't really want to, but I probably should pack up my tripod because it gets really tiresome to carry that thing for any long distance. So I guess I should do that. Sucks. Ironically, I actually need kind of a bigger umbrella, but that would make it even more susceptible to getting blown around in the wind. But kind of a hard problem to solve. I think I want to try the fan idea, just having a fan blowing on my phone, see if that makes any difference. Even just the time it takes for me to get packed up might be too long for the phone to last. Oh, and while I'm here, I think I will go up to the top. I like to go to the top just to say I was at the top. No real reason, just it's a shame to be this close to a top of something and not go there. Thing, unscrew. I've been up here a bunch of times. It's the same place I was at recently, so. But I'll go up again just because I'm here. There's a lot of other angles I could do up here too. I've already live streamed Bible readings from up here, but not every possible direction and angle. There's still some potentials. Actually, the wind, now that I think of it, could help the phone a little bit if it's enough wind, but it's probably not. Anyway, you can definitely see how smoky it is up here. But around this corner over to the right there, there's some other possibilities for later. Oh. Even stuff like this, I could sit on top of that rock, looking that direction. There's just all sorts of cool spots here. But I need some shade, I think, if I'm going to have any chance of making this phone not overheat. There is a shady spot right here, but I don't think there's really another unique angle here necessarily, but there's like a little, come on, cord, just like right down there under those rocks I could put the camera, but there's not really any place for me to sit that's different than what I've already done. Anyway, I'm gonna put this down here for a minute while I pack up my tripod. I need some more carabiners and gear ties, things like that. I just came up with a use for a carabiner today that I hadn't really thought of, but I can hang my chair from it, the little handle that it has on the outside of the pouch bag thing. I could hang that on the outside of my backpack so that my backpack isn't so stuffed. Technically, I could do the same with my tripod, but I don't know if that would work or be a good idea, but it's possible. It takes so much longer to do all these live streams and like packing everything up and moving around, all this stuff. Just Doesn't seem like it should take so long, but it does. Oh. Something was poking me. I either somehow magically got one of those pokey things in my shirt, or there's some insect in there that bit me. I don't know what it was. Okay, I'm gonna give that phone a little break, and then hopefully I can just see the chat on my screen. Okay, this might just suddenly die. I mean, it's super hot, so it wouldn't surprise me. Oh. Yeah, I think I got one of those pokey things. Or something similar. Alright, let's see if we can make all the batteries and not overheating last long enough to get down. There's another shady spot, but I don't know if there's any unique angle to be had. Not really. It's really similar to the one I did earlier. Okay, I'm just gonna go down away from this rock structure and down into the tall trees. See if I can find some shade. It doesn't have to be the most scenic spot ever, just shade is important at this point. I forgot about this. There's sort of a path here. I'd like to... I'm curious. I want to explore it someday, but I mean, today isn't really the day, but it doesn't really cut through very well. I thought maybe it continued, but it kind of just dead ends here. I think there's ways through, but you'd really have to push your way through these bushes. It's pretty thick. All right. I don't actually feel any immediate adverse effects from the smoke. I mean, it might be kind of a delayed reaction. I don't really feel anything right now. I could even just like stop in a spot like this, like where a tree is shading me, and I could just sit down there on the trail or back that way. But I think I'll head farther down. I mean, trails look cool, but like, oh wow, have I ever been here? I don't remember this. Ah, this is promising. Those rocks are cool. I could probably stream here. Because there's shade like over this way, and then I could just sit on those rocks or something. Angles aren't exactly what I was hoping for, but I wonder if I come over this way and look back the opposite direction, if it's interesting at all. Of course, that's interesting. I could stream that, but I've already streamed that same angle just farther away. That would be a great spot for sure. But I think I'll save that for later, another time, because I don't like doing like the same location so soon after having done it. But I could sit up here, just sit on one of those rocks. I know I've done a lot of rocks today, so it's kind of more of the same, but it's fine. It feels like massively cooler here. I mean, where I'm going to be sitting on that rock is not necessarily going to be cooler because it's in the sun, or at least partially. But right here feels amazing. It feels awesome. I think it'll help the camera significantly. As long as I don't waste too much time, because the sun will move and then this will be in the sun. I don't actually remember coming over here, but I probably have. I'm usually so laser focused on getting up to the top that I don't remember looking over here to see this nice area. This is a really great spot. The fact that it's in the shade is particularly nice. I think it would be in the shade fairly consistently too, because of these trees here. So probably not like first thing in the morning, but Seems fine. Glad I got that reference thing fixed. Like, it doesn't really matter for the sake of my split up videos where I have individual chapters on WordHike, whatever, but it's just nice for my larger streams, just not having typos in there. The other thing I always forget to do is take the phone case off, which I don't actually know, but I think it probably lasts a little bit longer that way because it doesn't have the plastic insulating it, keeping it even warmer, I guess. It's just kind of crazy that the phone that I use for chat or whatever, it overheats too, and I mean, all it's doing is showing Chrome, that's it. Okay, this is cool. Feels good. I think the camera should be fine, as long as it hasn't already kind of maxed out. So, going to be reading Deuteronomy 5-7, Matthew 26, 1-16, and Mark 14, 1-11. We'll see if we can get all the way through, hopefully. Oh, no. Well, somewhere along the way, I lost the little windscreen for this mic. I have more than one, but it sucks to lose it. I could probably retrace my steps after I'm done streaming and maybe find it, but it's such a small thing that I don't know how long it's been off of there, and it'll look very similar to a lot of the things on the ground because it's gray, which doesn't help in this kind of situation, but that stinks. I knew that would happen eventually. I think I can probably buy more of those, hopefully, if I lose all of them, but I do have another one, I think. Doubts whether I will find it. Okay, I'll definitely end the stream after this reading. I didn't want to be out like super long because I need to get ready for when my friend comes. I'm mostly ready because I stayed up all night like usual. But these things aren't designed that well. Like, they're okay. It has like a twist turn like attachment thing, but the fact that it comes off, it's happened more than once, is not good. I think the chances of me finding that, like, this is what it looks like. It's gray. Everything around here is gray, so no way to see it. Another thing I could do is check my replay later and see if I could pinpoint when it fell off somehow, and then I could come back and look around the area where it seems like it might have fallen off. But thing is, I had it under my shirt most of the time, so it probably fell off while under my shirt and might have just rolled off where I wouldn't be able to see it. I don't think it's under my shirt. No. Kind of in the shade here, at least for a few minutes until the sun moves. Okay, let's see, what was I going to do? I was going to do this. I should bring my little, I have a little tripod that I could put one of the phones on, because sometimes I just don't have anywhere to put it. I thought about bringing it today even, but I could have used that possibly for the umbrella scenario too. Oh well. Okay, here we go. One last reading. Be kind of funny if I change positions each chapter that I read. I don't want it to be like a sensation or like a distraction, me doing weird stuff. So, but when I looked over here from where the camera is, I was thinking I could probably do like a plank across these. That would be super distracting. I wouldn't do it, but it would be fun for exercise or just a funny photo, but I wouldn't do it while reading the Bible. I don't know if I could do that anymore. I used to do that kind of stuff a long time ago. Maybe if I remember, maybe I'll try it after I'm done reading, because I'm curious if I still can do that kind of stuff. I kind of doubt it. Deuteronomy chapter 5. Then Moses summoned all Israel and said to them, Hear, O Israel, the statutes and ordinances that I declare in your hearing this day. Learn them and observe them carefully. The Lord our God made a covenant with us at Horeb. He did not make this covenant with our fathers, but with all of us who are alive here today. The Lord spoke with you face to face out of the fire on the mountain. At that time I was standing between the Lord and you to declare to you the word of the Lord, because you were afraid of the fire and would not go up the mountain. And he said, I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slavery. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourself an idol in the form of anything in the heavens above, on the earth below, or in the waters beneath. You shall not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers on their children to the third and fourth generations of those who hate me, but showing loving devotion to 1,000 generations of those who love me and keep my commandments. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, for the Lord will not leave anyone unpunished who takes his name in vain. Observe the Sabbath day by keeping it holy, as the Lord your God has commanded you. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God, on which you must not do any work, neither you, nor your son or daughter, nor your manservant or maidservant, nor your ox or donkey, or any of your livestock, nor the foreigner within your gates, so that your manservant and maidservant may rest as you do. Remember that you were a slave in the land of Egypt, and that the Lord your God brought you out of there with a mighty hand and an outstretched arm. That is why the Lord your God has commanded you to keep the Sabbath day. Honor your father and your mother, as the Lord your God has commanded you, so that your days may be long and that it may go well with you in the land that the Lord your God is giving you. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife. You shall not covet your neighbor's house or field, or his manservant or maidservant, or his ox or donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor. The Lord spoke these commandments in a loud voice to your whole assembly out of the fire, the cloud, and the deep darkness on the mountain. He added nothing more, and he wrote them on 2 tablets of stone and gave them to me. And when you heard the voice out of the darkness while the mountain was blazing with fire, all the heads of your tribes and your elders approached me, and you said, Behold, the Lord our God has shown us his glory and greatness, and we have heard his voice out of the fire. Today we have seen that a man can live even if God speaks with him. But now, why should we die? For this great fire will consume us, and we will die, if we hear the voice of the Lord our God any longer. For who of all flesh has heard the voice of the living God speaking out of the fire as we have, and survived? Go near and listen to all that the Lord our God says. Then you can tell us everything the Lord our God tells you. We will listen and obey. And the Lord heard the words you spoke to me, and he said to me, I have heard the words that these people have spoken to you. They have done well in all that they have spoken. If only they had such a heart to fear me and keep all my commandments always, so that it might be well with them and with their children forever. Go and tell them, return to your tents. But you stand here with me, that I may speak to you all the commandments and statutes and ordinances you are to teach them to follow in the land that I am giving them to possess. So be careful to do as the Lord your God has commanded you. You are not to turn aside to the right or to the left. You must walk in all the ways that the Lord your God has commanded you, so that you may live and prosper and prolong your days in the land that you will possess. Man, I can't even imagine like all of the people actually heard God speaking. I mean, Moses obviously did even more, but just like to hear God speaking, and it was so incredible and fearsome that like you can't even handle it. You're just afraid you're gonna die. And but I mean, I don't know. I think I'd rather just face that because I want to hear the Lord. Like I would so much rather hear Him even for a moment. And if I died for some reason, fine. I want to hear the Lord. I wouldn't want to be like so afraid that I miss out on the one chance in history for people to hear God speaking. Man, that would be awesome. But we believe in faith without signs or wonders. That's what generally we need to do most of the time. But it doesn't mean I don't want to hear the Lord. Just to hear His voice would be amazing. Someday. Deuteronomy chapter 6. These are the commandments and statutes and ordinances that the Lord your God has instructed me to teach you to follow in the land that you are about to enter and possess, so that you and your children and grandchildren may fear the Lord your God all the days of your lives by keeping all His statutes and commandments that I give you, and so that your days may be prolonged. Hear, O Israel, and be careful to observe them, so that you may prosper and multiply greatly in a land flowing with milk and honey, just as the Lord, the God of your fathers, has promised you. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one, and you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength. These words I am commanding you today are to be upon your hearts. And you shall teach them diligently to your children, and speak of them when you sit at home, and when you walk along the road, when you lie down, and when you get up. Tie them as reminders on your hands, and bind them on your foreheads. Write them on the doorposts of your houses and on your gates. And when the Lord your God brings you into the land He swore to your fathers, to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that He would give you, a land with great and splendid cities that you did not build, with houses full of every good thing with which you did not fill them, with wells that you did not dig, and with vineyards and olive groves that you did not plant. And when you eat and are satisfied, be careful not to forget the Lord who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slavery. Fear the Lord your God, serve Him only, and take your oaths in His name. Do not follow other gods, the gods of the peoples around you. For the Lord your God, who is among you, is a jealous God. Otherwise the anger of the Lord your God will be kindled against you, and He will wipe you off the face of the earth. Do not test the Lord your God as you tested Him at Massah. You are to diligently keep the commandments of the Lord your God, and the testimonies and statutes He has given you. Do what is right and good in the sight of the Lord, so that it may be well with you, and that you may enter and possess the good land that the Lord your God swore to give your fathers, driving out all your enemies before you, as the Lord has said. In the future, when your son asks, "What is the meaning of the decrees and statutes and ordinances that the Lord our God has commanded you?" then you are to tell him, "We were slaves of Pharaoh in Egypt, but the Lord brought us out of Egypt with a mighty hand. Before our eyes the Lord inflicted great and devastating signs and wonders on Egypt, on Pharaoh, and on all his household. But He brought us out from there to lead us in and give us the land that He had sworn to our fathers. And the Lord commanded us to observe all these statutes and to fear the Lord our God, that we may always be prosperous and preserved, as we are to this day. And if we are careful to observe every one of these commandments before the Lord our God, as He has commanded us, then that will be our righteousness." Deuteronomy chapter 7. When the Lord your God brings you into the land that you are entering to possess, and he drives out before you many nations, the Hittites, Girgashites, Amorites, Canaanites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites, 7 nations larger and stronger than you, and when the Lord your God has delivered them over to you to defeat them, then you must devote them to complete destruction. Make no treaty with them and show them no mercy. Do not intermarry with them. Do not give your daughters to their sons or take their daughters for your sons, because they will turn your sons away from following me to serve other gods. Then the anger of the Lord will burn against you, and he will swiftly destroy you. Instead, this is what you are to do to them. Tear down their altars, smash their sacred pillars, cut down their Asherah poles, and burn their idols in the fire. For you are a people holy to the Lord your God. The Lord your God has chosen you to be a people for his prized possession out of all peoples on the face of the earth. The Lord did not set his affection on you and choose you because you were more numerous than the other peoples, for you were the fewest of all peoples. But because the Lord loved you and kept the oath he swore to your fathers, he brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you from the house of slavery, from the hand of Pharaoh king of Egypt. Know therefore that the Lord your God is God, the faithful God who keeps his covenant of loving devotion for 1,000 generations of those who love him and keep his commandments. But those who hate him he repays to their faces with destruction. He will not hesitate to repay to his face the one who hates him. So keep the commandments and statutes and ordinances that I am giving you to follow this day. If you listen to these ordinances and keep them carefully, then the Lord your God will keep his covenant and the loving devotion that he swore to your fathers. He will love you and bless you and multiply you. He will bless the fruit of your womb and the produce of your land, your grain, new wine, and oil, the young of your herds, and the lambs of your flocks, in the land that he swore to your fathers to give you. You will be blessed above all peoples. Among you will be no barren man or woman or livestock, and the Lord will remove from you all sickness. He will not lay upon you any of the terrible diseases you knew in Egypt, but he will inflict them on all who hate you. You must destroy all the peoples the Lord your God will deliver to you. Do not look on them with pity. Do not worship their gods, for that will be a snare to you. You may say in your heart, "These nations are greater than we are. How can we drive them out?" But do not be afraid of them. Be sure to remember what the Lord your God did to Pharaoh and all Egypt. The great trials that you saw, the signs and wonders, and the mighty hand and outstretched arm by which the Lord your God brought you out. The Lord your God will do the same to all the peoples you now fear. Moreover, the Lord your God will send the hornet against them until even the survivors hiding from you have perished. Do not be terrified by them, for the Lord your God who is among you is a great and awesome God. The Lord your God will drive out these nations before you little by little. You will not be enabled to eliminate them all at once, or the wild animals would multiply around you. But the Lord your God will give them over to you and throw them into great confusion until they are destroyed. He will hand their kings over to you, and you will wipe out their names from under heaven. No one will be able to stand against you. You will annihilate them. You must burn up the images of their gods. Do not covet the silver and gold that is on them, or take it for yourselves, or you will be ensnared by it, for it is detestable to the Lord your God. And you must not bring any detestable thing into your house, or you, like it, will be set apart for destruction. You are to utterly detest and abhor it, because it is set apart for destruction. All right, just a couple more short passages and then we're done. The sun is creeping up on the tripod, so I think we'll finish before that happens. Matthew chapter 26. When Jesus had finished saying all these things, he told his disciples, "You know that the Passover is 2 days away, and the Son of Man will be handed over to be crucified." At that time the chief priests and elders of the people assembled in the courtyard of the high priest, whose name was Caiaphas, and they conspired to arrest Jesus covertly and kill him. "But not during the feast," they said, "or there may be a riot among the people." While Jesus was in Bethany in the home of Simon the leper, a woman came to him with an alabaster jar of expensive perfume, which she poured on his head as he reclined at the table. When the disciples saw this, they were indignant and asked, "Why this waste? This perfume could have been sold at a high price and the money given to the poor." Aware of this, Jesus asked, "Why are you bothering this woman? She has done a beautiful deed to me. The poor you will always have with you, but you will not always have me. By pouring this perfume on me, she has prepared my body for burial. By pouring this perfume on me, she has prepared my body for burial. Truly I tell you, wherever this gospel is preached in all the world, what she has done will also be told in memory of her." Then one of the 12, the one called Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priests and asked, "What are you willing to give me if I hand him over to you?" And they set out for him 30 pieces of silver. So from then on, Judas looked for an opportunity to betray Jesus. Mark chapter 14. Now the Passover and the feast of unleavened bread were 2 days away, and the chief priests and scribes were looking for a covert way to arrest Jesus and kill him. "But not during the feast," they said, "or there may be a riot among the people." While Jesus was in Bethany, reclining at the table in the home of Simon the leper, a woman came with an alabaster jar of expensive perfume, made of pure nard. She broke open the jar and poured it on Jesus' head. Some of those present, however, expressed their indignation to one another. "Why this waste of perfume? It could have been sold for over 300 denarii and the money given to the poor." And they scolded her. But Jesus said, "Leave her alone. Why are you bothering her? She has done a beautiful deed to me. The poor you will always have with you, and you can help them whenever you want, but you will not always have me. She has done what she could to anoint my body in advance of my burial. And truly I tell you, wherever the gospel is preached in all the world, what she has done will also be told in memory of her." Then Judas Iscariot, one of the 12, went to the chief priests to betray Jesus to them. They were delighted to hear this, and they promised to give him money. So Judas began to look for an opportunity to betray Jesus. Whew, all right. Yeah, we made it through. Of course, I was hoping I would have made it through that week 14 like a couple days ago when I was trying to, but it just wasn't meant to be. Phone overheated, so. But today was a good makeup day, and I need to get back. I'm not actually in a rush at all. I have like tons of time before my friend arrives. He won't get here till late at night, most likely, so it's not a problem. I might take a nap though, since I stayed up all night. And I have a few things to clean up, but it's actually pretty good already. I did quite a bit. Even did a bunch of laundry, which, I guess it's fine. I was just thinking, like, that could have been one of the times that the microphone windscreen fell off when I jumped like that, but who knows? I don't know if I feel like even trying to look for that. That seems pretty much impossible to find. So small. I have like a bigger, old professional portable outdoor mic that I used to use for my streams, and it had one of those things on it too, but it was like 6 times as big, and that was worth going back to look for. And I did find that one time when I lost it, but it's so much bigger than these. I don't think I'd be able to find it. I might walk up there just once, just for fun, to see if I can spot it, but it seems extremely unlikely. It's a very small chance that it could be in my bag or something, like I fell off when my bag was open, but that seems very, very unlikely. Anyway, I'm going to head out pretty soon, so I'll probably just end the stream here and pack up and look once for the thing I dropped. If I can't find it, it's no big deal. So if you're lurking, thanks for the lurk. Like I said, I'm pretty happy that I discovered that my script was pretty much working the whole time. I just needed to fix the JSON data. So pretty soon, theoretically, I should be able to get back to posting chapter videos on my WordHike second channel. So yeah, that'll be cool. Yep, we'll catch you later. It might be next week sometime before I live stream again, most likely, but never know. Might be able to throw a quick one in there if something happens this weekend that's out of the ordinary. Anyway, we'll catch you later.